What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's the 2nd of April, 2024. My name is Derek, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the death of former NFL Pro Bowl cornerback Vontae Davis, who has passed away suddenly at the age of 35. As has been the topic in most of my videos for the past year, we will be talking about how the death of Vontae Davis connects to this eclipse code as exhibited through the numerology of Yale University and its occultic secret society, Skull and Bones. In order to see this code, all it takes is a simple grasp of the language of Gematria. We start with the basic ordinal cipher, numbering the alphabet 1 through 26, a method that branches off into what we call the base 4 methods, where the alphabetic order is reversed and reduced using the rules of numerology. Of course, when combining this with the two large number methods, which pay tribute to the ancient Hebrew and Greek charts of Gematria and isopsephy, we start to find out that something very strange is going on in this world. Last year, in 2023, Yale, home to Order 322, turned 322 years old. And yet again, we have a death in the mainstream media very much connected to this code. The two Great American Total Solar Eclipses complete next week on April 8th and create a cross over the country like the cross of the bones under the skull. But notice how these eclipses intersect in the state of Illinois. Well, Illinois happens to be where Vontae Davis went to college. Now, Vontae Davis played most of his career with the Indianapolis Colts, certainly most remembered for his time there. On my channel, a few months ago, Superstream number 64, which is linked down below, I talked about the death of former Colts player Matt Ulrich, who was a participant in Super Bowl 41, which the Colts won. And that's a perfect example of how this skull and bones code plays out through the language of Gematria. Matt Ulrich died on November 5th of 2023. In the language of Gematria, the phrase skull and crossbones sums to 1105 standard, like the date November 5th, and 223 ordinal, like the year 2023. The order's official name, however, is Skull and Bones, which equals 149. Well, measuring from the death of Matt Ulrich to the death of Vontae Davis yesterday, April 1st, was 149 days. Now, Skull and Bones is very important to the National Football League, the league that both players played in, as the National Football League has roots in Skull and Bones at Yale. In fact, consider how the father of American football, Walter Camp, attended Yale College and was himself a member of the Skull and Bones Society. Notice how his full name, Walter Chauncey Camp, sums to 192 in the alphabetic order. This is the same as Yale Skull and Bones, 192. And not only did Vontae Davis play for Indianapolis, but he also finished his career with the Buffalo Bills and actually ended his career in a very bizarre fashion, retiring at halftime in the middle of just his second game with the team. Well, what makes this so interesting is that the cities of Indianapolis and Buffalo both sit within the path of totality for next week's Great American Eclipse. This is the second Great American Eclipse, and notice how both second and eclipse have Latin gematria of 192, matching Yale Skull and Bones. Well, also in ordinal, Indianapolis Eclipse and Indianapolis Colts both equal 192. And the NFL was founded in the year 1920. Now, this retirement with the Buffalo Bills is one of the things Davis is best known for. And he received a lot of criticism for this. Retiring in the middle of a game. Very bizarre. Notice how Buffalo Bills has matching 426 Latin Gematria with Yale. Yale also equals 43 in the alphabetic order, and when he died, Davis was 430 months old. But Yale University also equals 2059 Latin, and when he quit that game with the Buffalo Bills, it was on a date with 43 Numerology, which was also the 259th day of the year. That date also leaves 106 days on the calendar, and in reduction, both 223, 322, and Yale, all with this 1-6 gematria like Davis with capital letters. Matt Ulrich, the other Colts player who recently died, was born on December 30th, or 1230. Notice how in standard gematria the name Vontae Davis equals 1230. And in Sumerian gematria, which is the alphabetic order times 6, Yale University sums to 1230. In ordinal, Indianapolis equals 123. And the Indianapolis Colts were established on January 23rd, written 1/23 on the calendar. So recently, we had a very significant anniversary for Yale, as I mentioned at the top of this video. This was on October 9th of 2023, when the school had its special anniversary. Vontae Davis died 175 days after Yale turned 322 years old. In the alphabetic order, Indianapolis, Indiana sums to 175. And check out the date he died as well, April 1st, which had numerology of 13 and 49. With the ampersand, skull and bones equals 130 and 49. Furthermore, skull and bones also 140, the 1st of April. Skull and bones also equals 41, like April 1st, 4/1. Every year in the city of Indianapolis, the NFL hosts its scouting combine to scout new prospects for the NFL draft. And when Vontae Davis participated in the combine in Indianapolis, notice how his age ended in the digits 572. Well, in Latin, skull and bones equals 572. These are the same digits in his birthday, May 27th or 527. Skull and bones with the ampersand, 527 in that same Latin method. Notice how Skull and Bones Society shares a 295 value with the number 322, as well as 223, of course, the same letters. When his brother passed away, Vernon Davis was 2,095 weeks old and 61 days after his birthday. Well, skull and crossbones equals 61 in reduction. Meanwhile, Vontae Davis was 1,870 weeks old. Notice how both Vontae and his brother Vernon were each born in the city of Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. sums to 187. A lot like the nickname of Skull and Bones, Brotherhood of Death 187. A number associated with the homicide code. The phrase total eclipse equals 187. And think about the stadium that the Colts play in, Lucas Oil. Opened up 187 months before the total eclipse that passes over the stadium. So again, a number reflected in the age of Vontae Davis on the date he died, 187. So let's dive a little bit deeper, as we tend to do. Now, the Skull and Bones code isn't all we talk about, although I feel like I could change my channel name to that, and no one would really complain. But this all circles back to something I've been talking about on this channel a lot recently, which is this number 393. In recent posts I made, I talked about this number in the death of the Boeing whistleblower who died on 3/9 or 9/3. Trump had the 393 in his age at that point. This was also a number I talked about in my decodes on Princess Kate, and you can find those videos linked below as well. JFK and Prince Charles both with the 393 in their age on the date of that story. And this even came up with this motorcycle crash. I'll be doing a video on this tomorrow, so I don't want to get sidetracked there, but motorcycle crash has this 393 Gematria, and this came up because MotoGP was just purchased yesterday. And MotoGP, the highest level of motorcycle racing. And we had the death of actor Chance Perdomo in a motorcycle crash just a couple days before this announcement. So once again, I'll be doing a video on that tomorrow. But this 393 showed up again, here in the age of a former player on the Indianapolis Colts. In standard Gematria, Indianapolis and Colts both sum to 393. The Indianapolis Colts also sums to 393 with capital letters. This cipher maintains the alphabetic order, but reverses it and applies capital letters to the sum. And the Colts play their home games in Lucas Oil Stadium. Lucas Oil also equals 393. In the description below of this video, you'll also see my post on 1331 being the ultimate eclipse number, and why this number 393 is so special for this code. Vontae Davis was born 39 weeks and 3 days before the birthday of Buffalo Bill. Remember, he caused this bizarre scene with the Buffalo Bills at the end of his career. So 393 has Gematria of 1331, reminding us of the 1331 eclipse, which fell on the date November 30th. The name Vontae equals 1331 with square numbers. And not only does the name Davis equal 35, but he was 35 years old when he died. And when you write out the number 35 in trigonal, it sums to 1331, the first number to do so. And on the date that he quit the Buffalo Bills, his brother Vernon Davis played for the Washington Redskins, Washington, D.C., their hometown team. And on the day he quit, Vernon Davis was playing in a game against the Indianapolis Colts, September 16th of 2018. Vernon Davis was born 11,331 days after the Colts were founded. Twin eclipses equals 1331. The eclipses we're seeing over the United States. And the name Vontae also sums to 704, like total solar eclipse. In fact, consider how both of these men have the initials VD. And hopefully it's just the initials VD that they have. But anyway, VD sums to 704 in Latin. V and D. Why else is this important? Well, V and D are the 22nd and 4th letters, 22 and 4. This eclipse over Indianapolis is in 2024. And now Vontae Davis dead in the year 2024. Vontae died 2,024 days after he retired from the Buffalo Bills. And his death fell a span of 22 weeks and 4 days before the start of the next NFL season. This upcoming NFL season will be the 105th in the league's history. Indianapolis Colts equals 105, while Colts equals 15. When Vontae packed up his bags and left the NFL, notice how this happened on a date with 63 numerology. Buffalo equals 63 in ordinal, while Buffalo Bills equals 117. 117 days separated the birthdays of Vernon and Vontae Davis. Like the value of the Indianapolis Colts or the United States of America. Vontae Davis was a span of 11,070 days old when he retired. If you don't include the end date, you also get the 1169, which is the Gematria of Vernon Davis. But his retirement was on the date 16/9. And notice how he died 169 days before 16/9. See this with the end date included, 169 days before 16/9. This is also 169 days before September 17th, which is the NFL's anniversary. And the NFL was founded as the American Professional Football Association, which sums to 169, like Vontae and Buffalo Bills. But I'm going to end this video talking about the number 33, because when it comes to eclipses, the number 33, which sits at the center of the 1331 code, is definitely one of the biggest. When Vontae Davis retired from the NFL, he was exactly 30 years, 3 months, and 3 weeks old. In Latin, Indianapolis equals 333. And in the 33rd verse of the Bible, God rests on the 7th day. Notice how both 1 week and 7 days equals 33 in reduction. And Vontae Davis died 1 week or 33 days before the eclipse over Indianapolis. Eclipse 33 like the sun or sun 330, the Indianapolis Colts 303 with capital letters, and the name Davis equals 330 with Sumerian. Davis was even born exactly 33 weeks after Yale's anniversary. Measuring again from the establishment of the Indianapolis Colts to the death of Vontae Davis gives us 26,001 days, like the United States of America, or 26,002 days like Vontae Davis with the end date. Davis died during Brown lunation 1252. See how every date, every full moon gets a new number associated with it. Well, 1252, this is the Latin gematria of Washington, D.C., his birthplace. Washington, D.C. is a supermatch with the phrase total eclipse, including the number 56. Next week's total eclipse falls on a date with primary numerology of 56. Vontae Davis retired exactly 56 weeks after the first Great American Eclipse, and when he passed away yesterday, it was 56 days before his birthday. That'll do it for this video, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Whether you're watching live or archived, please do feel free to give a like, share, and subscribe. Peace, love, God bless. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.